Today's episode, we're going to look at holster making. Stay low, stay tuned. What is up, YouTube land? Benjamin here with B-Jamen Studios.
Hello, everybody. Just in the living room. You should say it. Hello, everybody.
I'm finally back, trying my very best to finish up this series of videos of my experience with SDI. I don't know if y'all have noticed. I'm sure y'all have. Everybody who follows this, at least, probably also follows a few more gun channels. Maybe gun channels like WPS, Warrior Poet Society. I don't know. I don't want to start naming off a bunch of channels, but at least one of my favorites like WPS or even Kuleon Nor. Some other stuff. Anyways, they have mentioned SDI as channel or video sponsors and whatnot. And I understand why they do that. You know, these guys are trying to put out a lot of content and they shoot a lot. And ammo is expensive. Production's expensive. Hence the reason I'm doing everything in my shop here and using iMovie to edit on. So what I'm getting at is this is a gunsmithing school reaching out to them saying, hey, we want to support your channel. We like what you're doing. You've got a good following. How about giving us a shout out? So obviously that's how getting sponsored works. So I'm not knocking them for taking the sponsor. It's just hard to speak on behalf of a school if you haven't taken the program. You know, I'm sure they have looked into it. A lot of these guys, I'm sure they've looked into it, maybe even visited, looked at their actual campus, all this cool stuff. Without rambling, what I'm getting at here is I'm still trying to give y'all an honest, personal experience review of Sonoran Desert Institute. So without any further, let's get straight into it. The next video that I needed to cover, let me look at my notes here, but was the custom Kydex lab. We've already went over, once again, intro to firearms, basic ballistics, firearms finishes and engraving, firearms inspection and troubleshooting, gunsmithing tool lab, sights, optics, and accuracy, machining and manufacturing of firearms. And here we are at custom Kydex lab, which was a 4-week class that was tagged on to the last 4 weeks of the sights, optics, and accuracy, and making and machining of and manufacturing of firearms. 2 more videos to go: shooting sports management and AR-15 advanced armor. So today, the custom Kydex lab. I have said this a few times, probably one of, if not my favorite class that I got to take through this program. So what comes in the box, right? That's where we always start. So we have a infrared thermometer to be able to track the heat and temperature of our Kydex once we get it heated up, ready to be molded into our press. We got a actual heat gun for some finishing touches, you know, once you maybe get things in place and something needs to be adjusted. We've got rotary tool and all the goods that come with that. We got 2 sheets of Kydex itself. I actually wound up only using half of one. There we go. Out of focus, in focus. And what else? What else? Of course, the actual manual for the lab shows you how to build a press if you want to go that route. Shows you what your press should look like. Shows you what your mold should look like. All that good stuff. What else came in this? Oh, and then the foam. They give you 2 pieces of foam, and I'll show you that in a second. So with this class, this is the only class at SDI that you aren't given everything that you need for the class. So as I mentioned, in this class, you either build a press or you can buy a press. You're given the option as of when I took it. Now, I don't know if that's changed, but so the route that I went was build a press. I didn't know if this was something I was going to enjoy. Turns out it is, and I might buy me a bigger press. For now, what I'm doing, what I built works for me. But in the future, with bigger projects, I'm definitely going to need a bigger press. So I'll show you what I built. like I said, they gave you the 2 pieces of foam for this. To build the press, you need at least 2 large door hinges, wood screws. You can use 2 2x4s. I wound up using 1 2x4 and then 4 pieces overall of plywood. And that gave me the ideal thickness that I needed, because when it's all said and done, without anything in this press, it needs to be able to fold and close like a book. You can kind of actually see where I had a mold here still. And I mean, that's really about it. The class itself, let me get it pulled up. Like I mentioned, was 4 weeks. All the normal stuff, the discussion post and the assignments. A fun class. We got to talk about our preferred means of carry. You know, are you outside the waistband, inside the waistband? Do you think, where did appendix originate from? And is appendix a good? I mean, with the discussion post, you as a person and your class as a whole kind of gets to dictate where it goes, because you have to at least reply to 2 people on a discussion post. So it makes for a lot of good discussion. Let me get this pulled up here. So for this class, I finished it with a 99.51. Like I've mentioned in all my stuff, that's literally just applying yourself. I want to say I literally missed 1 question on the final exam, and I missed 1/2 of a question on the week 1 quiz. So overall, 1.5 points, and that's what cost me my pretty much half point in the class. But you wind up having a practical application in week 2, week 3, and then week 4. 4 discussion boards, 4 assignments. And what you have to do for the final assignment is make a holster or a sheath or something. I wound up making a sheath. I had this this knife here that I was given. It's made by a company local to me called Sarge. At least there's a local store for them in my area. And this just comes with one of those nylon, sheaths. So don't ask me about this. This has no function whatsoever. I guess if I had made another notch, maybe you could wrap some paracord. Because I wound up just doing a loop. And on my hiking backpack, it has MOLLE. So I just, ran it through there. And it's got a good audible click. So, I mean, I enjoyed making it. Obviously, this was the first holster I have ever made. Or say holster, a sheath. And, I mean, for the first one ever, I wasn't mad at how it turned out. My instructor gave me some good pointers on maybe what to do differently next time. But overall, I mean, I was very happy. And it was fun making it. It really was. I don't have an oven in my garage. So I heated up the Kydex there in my kitchen. Brought the press in there. Oh, and one more thing before I get... If you don't already have them, you're going to need to buy some clamps to go. Once you've got your Kydex heated up, whether you're doing a taco style, a 2-piece style, whatever, it goes in here, set it down, and then you need to clamp it at least on each end. So I did 1 on the sides, and then 2, kind of split the difference here in the middle. And then I just let it set for about 30 minutes. Took it out. And then got to doing the finishing touches on it, trimming it up, smoothing everything out, making sure there's no gaps. Here we go. It's kind of, I mean, you can definitely tell it ain't the prettiest thing out there, but it's functional and it works. So, and the whole idea is learning, right? That's literally the name of the game when you're going through this program, is applying 100% of yourself to learning this, I'm not going to call it a trade, but just learning something new, So let's say all the guns that I have multiple holsters for. I've went through different holsters since I've been carrying now for the last 7 years. I found out what I like, found out what I don't like, and I really didn't have a need of making one for an actual pistol. Some of my classmates made some for revolvers, some for their Glocks. You know, it's just whatever you want to do. You want to make a sheath for your key fob, right? For your car. It does not matter. You can do it. But yeah, so this class was a ton of fun. This video is over 10 minutes already, and I need to cut it short. I'm going to try my dead level best to finish this series up here in the next 3 weeks. Of course, I know that's going to go over Christmas and get into the new year. But after this, I'm probably going to change direction slightly, start talking about some different things that is of my personal interest, and we'll see if you guys are interested in it or not. So this will probably be hopefully out before Christmas. If that's the case, I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, and remember that Jesus is the reason for the season, and I hope you guys have a Happy New Year. We'll see you in the next one.